Okay, next question for the day. Same project, same person was asking how do we get this sort of corner coining. The image I was sent is a little bit blurry, but from what I can tell, there's some sort of stucco or stone surface on the main wall, and then it's eroded away sort of at the openings to reveal the sort of brick substructure. And how are we going to model that? The easiest way I could come up with, and obviously like this wouldn't be entirely accurate because really this outer piece, this stucco or whatever it is going to be proud technically of the brick. But this should get the idea across, and really it could be kind of taken a step further, maybe with some solid element operations and duplication of elements. I've kind of gone ahead and modeled this in place rather than trying to do it on the fly because it is a little bit tedious to get this done. But what I've done here is, and obviously it could use some work. There's two columns here, one here and one here. I mirrored it around the corner so you can see here where this one and this one sort of are a little bit too matchy from side to side. But really these columns are, so this is the main wall, that element right there, and these columns are set essentially just as a column with segments, and I set the segment to have just started adding segment lengths, made them 8 inches tall. If you wanted to take your time and make sure that there may be 2 courses of brick per segment or 1 course of brick, they could be whatever height they needed to be there. Set the surface override of these. You could also easily just say that these are brick and not use the surface override. It doesn't look like we've got a brick surface in this template for some reason. But here I just have these set to brick. If I am worried about the sort of matching appearance of this, if I kind of click through here, you can see it's highlighting which segment I'm using. And this is the segment that's sort of book matched from side to side. It looks a little bit weird. So I'm just going to jump to, let's see, there's 1, 2, it should be this segment right here. There we go. So let's go ahead and just pull that one, this segment, down 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put it right there. Maybe that looks a little bit better from side to side so it doesn't look like it's just mirrored. But essentially that's what I did to create this, is I just took one column, built it up to the height of my wall, I mirrored it across, and on this one I just started dragging segments randomly up and down until it kind of looked right in my 3D model. You could even come back through and if this bottom one really didn't look right being that narrow, maybe I take that one and we'll say that this is, I don't know, 1 foot or something like that. Let's go a little bit deeper than that, maybe 1'4". Right. So you can really kind of finesse and fine tune that. But that's the general idea. That's how I would probably approach getting this started. And as I said, like if these were stucco, let's just look at these as stucco, for example. And we'll take it to this step further. So we'll add a stucco surface here. And then let's just say that we do want to actually show these things as sort of being set in from the stucco. So we'll go there, and then we'll set this one right here and right there. Well, let's make sure that we're sort of book matched to the corner. So there's my corner now. And what I can do here is pull this out. What is that width there? Let's double check this. Sorry, I'm just doing this on the fly. It might take me a little bit. So these are 1 inch. So we'll go to our column and we'll say that these are 1 inch. We'll go to our segment. I think we should be able to say we're going to select all of these and we're going to make these strong air like that. Oh, and let's turn off this. Oh, looks like it did only select that first one. Well, let's resolve that. Oh, I see what we did. Okay, so only the first one had its surface turned off. So if we come here, now we're not overriding any of those surfaces, and say okay, there we go. And now let's grab all of our columns and we'll set those as our operators. These are our targets. And we'll we'll just say subtraction and execute. We should see that popping through. Oh, you know what I did? I probably, let's take a step back here. I probably drug it out instead of dragging a copy. That's what I did. Okay, well, we'll fix that here. So we'll say, go back into here, go into the column. This is 1 inch. Go into the segment. We'll just go through this again. Always faster the second time. So we're going to make all of those air. We're going to turn off that. There we go. Now we see the brick behind, the stucco's sitting proud. You know, we can pull that over because it doesn't really need to be exact. Let's just recreate that here. And we'll do the same thing on this one. We will say that these are 1 inch thick, and the material on these is air. And we're not going to need the override, and then we don't need any solid element operations because these are actually trimming out the wall by building material. If these need to be thinner because of where those reference lines sit, we can technically come in and say that these are thinner. They don't need to be 8 inches thick. We could say that they're all 4 inches. Oh, sorry, that was the height. Did that wrong. Let's go one more time. Oh, they are 4 inches. Maybe it's a veneer. Let's say 2 inches. There we go. And then we're not taking up the full depth of the wall. So that is also something that you can kind of change as a big group bulk function. If you're worried about these showing sort of the lines or whatever else, they could be put on a hidden layer. For the purposes of this, I think those showing through should be fine. It gives you that shadow line, that extra level of detail. So that's one way that you can relatively quickly get to some really interesting, neat levels of detail on some of these rustic designs.